changes in architecture must be carried through into understanding what it's done to your security posture. And quite often architectural changes happen by teams completely unrelated to Nick's point, the API architecture team. We see this with CDN configuration problems. DNS is still a weak spot in a lot of HTTP traffic, and people just forget that the CDN they've used does not automatically or even magically understand that there's an API, that api.domain.com or what have you is there unless they tell it. So they have terrible DNS performance on their API, but their website's great, and they're trying to figure out what the gap is.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's probably the most striking example that I've seen in the last 20 years in IT and in security of the prevalence of silos. So the prevalence of blind spots between different groups in an organization and even their third parties, as well as a lack of cohesive and holistic understanding about these changes and how they're manifesting, right? So it very much working with our customers and partners, it's very much like the fable of the three blind men and the elephant, right? So this is the trunk, this is the leg, this is the tail, and all these things, and everybody may throw up a big thumb and thumbs up and say, yep, this tree that is the elephant's leg looks great. And everybody's okay at their different stages, but when it actually gets into production, nobody is the elephant dead? Is this thing even alive? Nobody's really taking this holistic view unless they have the tooling and the processes to facilitate that holistic view. And this is something where you need tooling, and you need to have people that understand how to do this, but the tools themselves don't solve the problem. You still need the humans and the context around what is it that you're intending to do here. And that the tooling is not psychic any more than your CISO is a psychic. And so Nick brings up a great point about these inline devices, gateways, and other things that are exercising some form of governance or controls all the way through the process. You can't see those things when you only look at code. You can't see those things when you only look at packets across the wire. You can't necessarily see all of these things with one lens. So it's important that you bring as many lenses to the party as you can, and then get that information together in a way that you can understand it, and that your team members can understand it, and your defenders can understand it. But that doesn't just happen by default. That you have to build for that.
I think that's an interesting point. It goes to, particularly in economic times like we find ourselves in 2023, there are pressures to, we've got tools already, just go with one tool. And I've already had discussions with customers who've quickly come to realize that they started thinking about cutting some tools out and realized that, well, hang on, we will lose this much of our visibility of certain technologies. So how do they I think they're coming to realize that they can't just rely on back-end monitoring tools or whatever DevOps really likes, and there will be very bad outcomes for everybody if they do that. But I think particularly in security, we saw a big push to traffic monitoring as the be-all and end-all of API security, that if you can spot somebody trying to hack a port or looking for zombie APIs, you've done the job. But I think what we've come to realize is there's just so many exposed endpoints, and it's not just the endpoints that you are providing yourselves. They could be things that are actually part of your business logic in your system that nobody realized are part of it, and they lurk in there, and nobody documents them, and nobody thinks about them.